What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Dose. We are back. Again, it's been a minute. How are you? How was your weekend?
Great, man. A lot of snow, a lot of shoveling out there.
You're telling me. I hate the snow.
You were like trapped somewhere.
Yeah.
You couldn't get on here.
That's why we were unable to do the show the last few days. I was trapped. Couldn't get home. Today, we're also joined by one of our faithful fanatics, co-host George Ryder. You can follow him on Twitter @_George Ryder. George, how was your snow-filled weekend?
Cold. It sucked. I mean, if you like the snow, I don't know what's wrong with you because the snow sucks.
There's nothing good about snow.
The snow is terrible, dude.
I thought Gant was about to come out with, dude, I love the snow.
No, it cancels things. It's cold. Like I don't see any positive out of it. Like when I was a kid, I hated snow.
Snow's good for 4 years of your life, and those are the 4 years you're in college.
Cleaning out your car is the worst thing ever, dude. It sucks,
dude. Brutal, absolutely brutal. So hopefully everyone stayed safe this weekend. We have Marquise in here already saying, "Let's go Sixers and Flyers. Have one goal to repeat Sunday and go 1-0 both teams tonight. That is the goal." So, on today's show of the Daily Dose, you guys can comment as much as you want. I can drop the link. You guys can join us, talk with George, Gint, and I, and discuss anything Philadelphia sports topics that took place over the weekend. The Philadelphia Flyers, since Gint has said to me privately that they're a bad hockey team, they are 4-0. They're 7-2-1. They took down. They swept the Devils series last week, and then they took down the New York Islanders in OT in both games over the weekend. They were, I haven't checked, but after the Islanders game, they were tied for the most points in NHL with 15 to start the young season through 10 games. Also, over the weekend, the Philadelphia 76ers started a road stand 2-0, taking care of business in Minnesota versus the Timberwolves on, Friday night? Joel Embiid dropped 37 points, didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. They handled the Timberwolves by 24 points. And then they come back on Sunday in Indiana, a tough game which last time we did the show, last time we did the Faithful Fanatics, the three of us and Snap on the Faithful Fanatics said, look, kind of figure they're going to go 1-1, right? They're not a very good road team. At least to start the season, they weren't last year. And, who knows what game Joel's going to play. Well, he plays the Timberwolves game. He doesn't play against Miles Turner and the Indiana Pacers. And the Sixers come back down 19 at one point and defeat the Indiana Pacers without Joel Embiid. So we will be breaking down that game. The Timberwolves game, that's light work. We're beyond that, right? So we'll talk about the Pacers game. George, hopefully we can talk some puck over the weekend, talk about the Bruins matchup tonight. Gint's been slacking. However, Gint did tune in over the weekend for the Islanders games. And I might even have to start the show with this just to get it out of the way. The Flyers, and we'll be previewing the Flyers matchup versus the Bruins tonight and the Sixers matchup versus the Hornets tonight on the road, looking for 3-0 on this 3-game road stand. But they both play tonight, guys, right? We're in a happy mood. I'm happy. You see what I have on today?
Yeah.
Do you see what I have on today? And that's not because I'm mad at the team. I'm mad at everyone out there. You guys. Not George. Not George is frozen. And that is, damn, if it fixed itself. But I'm mad at everyone because all I continue to see is negativity on Twitter, on social media, radio, everything. And I just want to know why. Do we have such an illness in this city that we have to be negative? We constantly have to find something to bitch about. That is right, Marquise. I have on a Philly shirt. I have on an Alec Boehm jersey right now, okay? And here's what I want to say. So I'm just going to get this out of the way, and then we'll talk about the Sixers and the Flyers. And George and Gint, you can tune into this. You can, throw out your 2 cents, So over the weekend, because this is a weekend review in Philadelphia sports, the Philadelphia Phillies, we talked about the JT signing, and then over the weekend, they bring back Didi Gregorius, 2 years, $28 million, so $14 a year to shore up the middle of that lineup, right? Shortstop was a need with him with him being a free agent. Last year, the Philadelphia Phillies, George, correct me if I'm wrong, they were the 4th best offense in the MLB?
Indeed.
Okay. Those were 2 big pieces in the middle of the lineup of that offense, right?
Huge.
So you bring back Didi and JT this offseason to shore up what was a top 5 offense last season. Okay. Why did they miss the playoffs last year? An historically bad bullpen. Right, there you go again. Pitching. Dombrowski's brought in 3 or 4, more bullpen assets, bullpen pieces that are better than anything we've had. And they brought in, Matt Moore and who's the one they signed today, George? Chase Anderson at the end of the rotation. Now, I don't love it. They don't pop out at me. Who knows, right? My point is they've now spent like the 3rd or 4th most money this offseason. They've been extremely active. They brought back the guy you wanted to bring back. So, what am I hearing?
What was that?
I have no idea. That's definitely Gint. Look, Gint's being all quiet over there. He did something he's not supposed to be doing.
I can't hear any.
And so my point is, what do we want to be negative for, George? They've done everything that you wanted them to do. Would more pitching be great? I'm on record saying I think they need a 3rd starter to be, really competitive. Here he is. Now Gint's on the bottom.
That was wild. All I started hearing was like, dude, your voice got like really loud and it started like yelling and it was,
really?
Oh my God, dude, it was wild.
I heard something in the background. That's really weird. So to wrap up my little rant here is stop being so damn negative. Would more pitching be great? Yes, they're not done, by the way, guys. There's still a few weeks till pitchers and catchers report. Who knows what they're going to get done? But they brought back key pieces to shore up a top 5 offense of last year, which if you don't have an historically bad bullpen, you make the playoffs last year in this tough division, even with the Marlins overachieving in a shortened season last year. And you added bullpen depth and back end rotation depth. Is it going to work? I don't know. But when I keep seeing we're still the worst team in the division, 4th best in the NL East, I truly believe the Phillies are closer to 1st or 2nd than they are basement of this division. That's where I stand. You can disagree with me. You are, welcome to your opinion, Mark. He says, yeah, and Phillies owner was babying about not having any money. We all know he was lying and crying for nothing, just not wanting to spend. Well, they've spent, okay? Yeah. They've been, one of the most active teams this offseason, spent top 3 most money in the MLB this offseason. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. I'm sorry that you want more. Everyone wants more. But why do we have to be so negative? I don't get it.
And I see a lot of people on Twitter, at least, like complaining about signing Chase Anderson and Matt Moore, like 2 back-end starters. But what would you rather have? Do you want to sign Drew Smyly for $11 million? Or do you want to sign Chris Archer for like 6? Like, I don't want to go near any of those guys. I think Matt Moore and Chase Anderson are like 2 guys that are great to take a risk on, especially because like Matt Moore coming back to the MLB last year when he pitched, he would have had the most innings in all the MLB last year. Like, he's an efficient guy. He's not some scrub that we just got off the streets. Like, I'm more optimistic about this team than a lot of people. I don't think we're going to win the division. I think we're closer to 2nd place than we are last place. And we're bringing back virtually the same lineup as last year. And what happened last year? We had a very good lineup. Like, we
top 5.
Yeah, we had a top 5 lineup. We raked from 1 to 8. Like, we had a great lineup. And you're bringing back virtually the same lineup. You're bringing back another year of Alec Boehm, another year of Spencer Howard in the rotation now. Like, I don't see the room to like bitch and moan about not spending money when they're doing pretty decent at spending money.
George is just happy for Vinny V again.
I hate so much.
Dear God. So just a little background on the 4th and 5th starters right now. And that's not even saying both of these guys aren't going to make the rotation unless Spencer Howard, they sent him down for some reason, but I would see no reason for that. But Chase Anderson, this is by Corey Seidman on Twitter earlier. Chase Anderson had a 3.94 ERA and 1.26 WHIP from 2014 to 2019. Mm-hmm. Last year, he had 1 good month and 1 bad month. Nearly 40% of all his runs given up coming in 2 relief appearances. So he got shelled in 2 relief appearances. He's not known for going deep into games, 6+ inning pitched in 59 of 160 starts. He's a fly ball guy. Okay. Now let me give you guys another stat from Corey Seidman earlier. Career starts of 6+ innings with 2 earned runs or fewer. Vince Velasquez, 24. Matt Moore, 53. Chase Anderson, 51. So this was a fringe playoff team with an historically bad bullpen. And you know what? Nick Pivetta and a young Spencer Howard and Vince Velasquez and an off and on, Zach Eflin last year, and not shut down Aaron Nola night in and night out, and they almost made the playoffs. Replace that with two guys that, can get deep into, can chew up innings and not give up a ton of runs, a better bullpen, and virtually the same lineup. Why do we have to be so pessimistic?
No, and I think the division being very good has a big effect on fans, obviously. Steve
Congrats,
Smith.
Steve.
What are you doing here, man?
No, they'll probably win the East.
No, I also think the Braves will win the East.
Ozuna's not back with the Braves, are they? Is he?
I
don't think so.
No?
I thought I saw another team was interested in him earlier on Twitter, but
Ozuna's whatever though. I still think we come in second or third and we compete for a wild card spot. I don't think we're gonna be bottom of this division, just trying to shell out wins with a terrible bullpen or starters that can't do anything. This lineup can rake. The bullpen's better. You still have Connor Brogdon too. He's young. He's another year of him. There's a lot of optimism that should be going in this team, not just pessimistic fans. I don't see where all the
pessimistic. Pessimism. Here's what I'm going to wrap it up here. You can throw out your 2 cents. And Steve, we will be getting to the Sixers in a second.
Yeah, Dylan just had to go on this.
Honest Abe says, shut up, Gint. You can throw out your 2 cents. I'm going to end it on this. I'm not saying that everyone should be enthused by this team, thinking they're going to go on a run this year, anything close to that. What I'm saying is, why is it that every time they make a signing, the comments, unload with negative and pessimistic opinions? Sign JT. Somehow, some way, there were negative feelings towards that. And it's never about the signing. It's about how they didn't do something else. So they signed Didi over the weekend. Oh, well, that's great. We still have blah, 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 blah. Just be happy for the freaking signing. God, it bothers the crap out of me.
Pull up the Marquise comment.
Steve says Ozuna has not signed yet.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I'm only worried about health at this point. I hope the team can stay healthy. That's the number one thing I want to see with the Phillies.
And that's a huge part of signing 2 back-end starters that can be decent for you. If Zach Wheeler gets hurt, God forbid, which happens, it does. And you have guys that can come in and give you efficient innings. If you don't sign those guys, then what? You have nobody. You literally have nobody to fill that role. Now you have 2 cheap options that can. It's a no-brainer.
We got a donation. Shout out.
Honest Abe. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Honest Abe.
Appreciate
it. Commenting with us. And then I saw a Dibes comment. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
What is more likely to happen? Phillies win the NL East in 2021 or Gint watches the Dark?
I'll throw you one more, Dibes. We'll throw in you watching a Villanova game.
I'll go with the Phillies winning the NL East because that is not happening. But yeah, thank you so much, Abe.
I never saw that movie.
What?
Thank you, George.
I don't watch superhero movies. Really.
Thank you, George.
Dude, it's beyond a superhero movie. Oh my God, Dibes, do you see what I'm dealing with on here?
I didn't want to mention it, but I don't watch movies much.
Nah, we've talked about this before. You hit me with I was a sports kid. Okay, so was I.
That's all I watch.
Still watch freaking movies. God damn.
All right, can we start talking about?
Yeah.
What happened? What, dude?
This kid's itching.
Dude, seriously, I'm waiting to talk about it since it happened.
Wait, what did you say? I was not focused.
Can we talk about the Pacers game, please?
Yeah, start it out.
What do you mean start it out? That's your job. You started. Actually, no. Actually, I want to talk about the Timberwolves game first. I know we weren't really going to talk about it, but there's something that happened in the Timberwolves game that hasn't happened with the Sixers in it's probably since before, I don't even know. It hasn't happened in forever. The Sixers are officially
time out. That's a low blow, Dibes. I've seen the Dark Knight. Okay, that's a low blow here.
Hear me out. Sixers are good enough to turn on a switch and turn off a switch. They are. in that Minnesota game, I didn't get to see the first half, and I was like, I'm about to turn on. They're still going to be losing, like all this stuff. And Joel Embiid and Ben just turn on a switch, and he turned into who he's been all season, which was awesome to see. And then they beat a team handily, but it didn't take heroic efforts at the end of the game. They just figured it out in the third quarter. That's also a testament to Doc and how good he is, that this team can just flip a switch at any point and beat bad teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to Doc. I think it's a testament to the stars on this team as well. It's a testament to Joel being able to flip that switch when he's struggling early. Testament to Tobias being on another level, which I'll get to when we talk about the Pacers game. But you're right, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you didn't see the first half, but we didn't shoot well in the first half at all, and I'm pretty sure Minnesota was shooting well. Yeah, it was like it. A lot of people were on Twitter, like Tyrone Johnson, who's been on the Faithful Fanatics before, was tweeting out a lot, like, if the Sixers just, shoot a little bit better, if the Sixers just shoot 40% from the field, this game will be a cakewalk in the second half, and that's exactly what it was. That's a great point, Gint. The fact that they're now at the level, they're good enough now to flip that switch to, okay, you're not on our level. You're a basement of the league team, and game over.
Minnesota is bad.
They're really bad.
Really bad. I know Cat's out, and like he's just dealing with like a ton of unfortunate things. But dude, they are so bad. They didn't draft James Wiseman or LaMelo Ball because it wasn't the fit, but they should be looking towards 2025, not now.
Dive says Ben and Tobias are becoming fourth quarter monsters on defense. We'll rotate through three quarters and then shut you down defensively in the fourth. So let's get to that fourth quarter and that Indiana game and the defensive side of everything on Sunday night. So the Sixers it had a feel like Ben didn't come back into the game in the fourth quarter until like the 7-minute mark or something like that. And we were down by like 8, 9, 10, 11. And it had a feel of like Doc said it before. Well, if I feel like we're not going to win this game, I'm not going to, push for it. You know what I'm saying? So it had that feel. And then I'm trying to find, So the Sixers trailed the Pacers 102-86 with 8:34 left in the game and outscored Indiana 33-8 the rest of the game. You want to talk about flipping a switch? You want to talk about a testament to Doc Rivers? Okay. How are we going to climb back? They were down 19 by 1 point in the second half. How are we going to climb back? Well, you have to get stops on the one end. Allah continued to say it throughout the broadcast. I was like, oh my God, I get it. It starts with like they would get a bucket. And then he'd be like, well, it starts on this end. I know. I got it after the 16th time. We can't get a freaking stop. So it just didn't have the feel of a game they're going to come back in. No Joel Embiid. And it's like, okay, man, who's going to get buckets down the stretch? Or can you get enough stops? What does Doc Rivers do? He switches to a 2-3 zone game and locks all windows and doors with that Indiana offense and puts Matisse and Ben at the top of that zone. And my God, were they menaces on the defensive end of the floor in the fourth quarter. Furkan Korkmaz hit a bunch of clutch shots down the end, a bunch of huge threes down the end. Matisse Thybulle had an N1 finish on the offensive end late in the game.
McConnell's bum ass.
Yeah.
That bomb.
Tobias Harris flipped on a switch. Ben Simmons was huge. Ben finished with 27, 6 boards, 21. Sorry. Yeah. Tobias got dropped the season high 27. Ben 21, 6, 7, 2 blocks, 4 steals on 75% shooting from the freaking field. He was phenomenal. Tobias dropped like 27 and 8. He was phenomenal. They picked up the slack when Joel was out. And then really, guys, 2 guys stick out to me at the end of that game. Matisse Thybulle and Furkan Korkmaz.
Yeah, you kind of attest to it. And that's 2 guys that we kind of talked on this show that we thought at some points in the game were unplayable, but they wheeled us to a victory. They did. Matisse at the top of that zone looked like he played for Jim Boeheim and mastered the craft of it, but he looked awesome. I know he played some of it in college, so, I mean, it definitely showed. And Furkan just hit such tiny shots. He was literally awesome for us. But, I mean, not to be a negative Nancy, because I don't want to be that, but that's kind of what we've seen with Furkan. We see a couple good games. You see a couple good games. Then you see games where he is, unfortunately, unplayable. You know what I mean? So
Where is our friend Nadir?
I don't know.
I'm giving his boy some props. He was unbelievable late in this game. Dropped 17 on 3 of 5 from 3, 50% from the field overall.
He was a plus 26.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it also, again, I'm bringing Doc up again, but the Pacers were just picking apart the Sixers in a two-man game with Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon, and we were having all types of fits with it. With no Embiid, you don't have anyone really anchoring the rim. Tony Bradley is god-awful. So you go to a 2-3 zone that I would have never thought they would have done, and you completely shut the door. They had like 0 field goals in the last 5 minutes and 57 seconds or something. So you just completely put a wrench in the Pacers for literally 6 minutes straight. That's just unbelievable to see.
I mean, you keep bringing up Doc, but it's the truth, man. Like, that is a huge difference this season. Like, it's just the truth. So you can give, your props to the players, obviously, for the comeback, but he gets a lot of, respect and props for this come from behind win in Indiana, who we were so excited to see this matchup. I want to touch on one thing from Indiana's standpoint. Miles Turner should never open his mouth to the media again, saying that he's ready to step up to the plate to defend Joel Embiid, and if he thinks he's the great defensive player that he is, or that he thinks he is, he can, step up to the test. Well, my man, you fouled out against Tony Bradley and Dwight Howard. What do you have getting 9 points? You correct me earlier. I said 4. He had finished with 9. Yeah. He loves standing in that corner and chucking up threes. George, we can keep dissecting this game. What was a major takeaway for you from the Indiana game?
Well, it just felt like it was over. You're just kind of watching the end of the game. There was like 8 minutes left, and I think we were down by 18, something like that.
I don't think it was that much then. I think like it was 19 in the end of the third.
I think 102-86 or whatever.
Yeah, so 16 with 8:34 left. Yeah,
and then they just lock every window and door like that. It was insane to watch. Matisse was unbelievable. Furkan was hitting his shots, and what a timely you guys just said it. Like Furkan pick and chooses his games whether he's good or not, and what a timely game to choose to be good on that one. Like everything about the end of that game was just incredible. That's what you want, especially when Joel is out. Like to have a comeback win, not only that, but to have a comeback win when Joel is not on the floor at all. It just gives the whole entire team confidence, gives the whole fan base confidence. And like shout out Doc Rivers for switching the zone because I don't think anyone really expected that. That was
no. And Honest Abe continues to tell the truth here on the Daily Dose. He was the coach of the month for a reason. Didn't even mention that. Kind of slipped my mind that he was, but
Embiid won player of the month too, didn't he?
What?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Embiid and Jokic won player of the month too.
Dude, we've had like player of the week in Tobias. Shake was like a player of the week runner up. Embiid was player of the month. Doc was coach of the month. Like this through 21 games, there's a feel to this team.
Well, yeah.
There's an energy in this team.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I was just going to bring up how like really good teams find ways to win games. Like when LeBron was in Miami with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, they would obviously sit out a lot of games, load management games, and like those teams would still find ways to win games. Like Chris Bosh was one of my favorite basketball players ever. So like I just kind of remember he had a game winner against San Antonio and Portland back-to-back where LeBron and Wade both didn't play. It's like great teams find ways to win games. And I want to know how much the Sixers prepped a 2-3 zone. Or
they said 5 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration. Like,
dude,
yes,
no exaggeration.
I didn't see that quote, but that is like hilarious. That Indiana couldn't find any way to score, like literally any way. So I mean, it's just great teams find ways to win, and you pulled that. Indiana's win percentage with like 7 minutes left in the game, I'm pretty sure it was like 98% or something, like something ludicrous. Yeah. And you find a way to win that game.
Dude, you want to talk about not winning this game in the past? And look, a lot of it goes to how great the Sixers were down the stretch. It also goes to just Indiana falling apart down the stretch.
Oh, yeah.
And not adjusting to his zone. And Dobbs is right. He's been in the comments. I saw him over the weekend and tweeting it like that. A 2-3 zone is not going to work against the big dogs in the East and teams that could shoot well. Indiana, just couldn't shoot well at the end of that game against the zone. Steve's got to go. Thanks, man. Thank you for watching and commenting with us.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
But again, I'll let you go on a little rant, and then I want to address a certain player. But before we do that, George, thoughts on hold on, where was I going to take this? Oh, thoughts on Shake Milton lately, because he is someone that on the Faithful Fanatics we talk about a lot, and ever since that run of how many games was it? Four
or five,
6,
28,
something like that.
31.
Ever since that run, Shake has taken a major step back off the bench, and they're winning still. So like it's I'm not ripping him because it's like we need Shake to perform and blah blah blah, but he's taken a major step back. Is that an issue for you going forward? What plays into him taking a step back? Just thoughts on that, because he only had like 9 points. I don't think he hit a 3 against Indiana. He hasn't shot the 3 well this season, period.
No, he shot 4 for 9 with 9 points against the Pacers. But like, it would be all sunshine and rainbows if Shake Milton could play to the standard that he was playing at the beginning of the year. Like, that would be incredible for us. But it's not something that like we desperately need right now off the bench. Like, we don't desperately need Shake to go absolutely insane 6th man of the year type discussion.
Yeah.
To win games. It's like, it sucks. I wish he was performing at a higher level. I wish he was shooting more efficiently, but it's not something I'm really worried about. Like, I don't think Shake Milton is going to be just like shooting 40% or 4 for 10, 4 for 9 every game, just like 9 points off the bench every game. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's something that we have to be concerned about. I think Shake's going to come back and like, he's going to hit his shots eventually. He's going to have games where he's going to absolutely go crazy, like 20 points like he's done before. But at this point, with our bench and the way we've been playing all around, number 1 in the East, it's not a major concern for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too concerned about Shake.
Well, what I'll say is I think people agree with you, George, because I'm looking at the comment section over here, and they all believe that Shake will get it together and return to form. Again, before we move on to the 2 players I want to discuss, what do you think? Are you with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, me and Dylan alluded to at the beginning of the season that we were ready to pump the brakes on the whole Jamal Crawford, the Williams type comparisons because, I mean, Shake's really young. He's not this seasoned vet that those guys were when they're playing underdog. So to hold him to that standard is just unfair. But I think we do need every bit of 14 to 16 points from him off the bench if we want to be – I mean, you look at the teams that we're striving to beat, and that's Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami,
Boston.
They don't have the best benches, so depth is a huge thing for us. I mean,
Right.
So we're going to eliminate our 6th man, and he's not going to bring this depth aspect. It's putting us at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, that it is huge going forward that he does get it together. But we all hope and think he will. Before we get into tonight's matchups with the Flyers and we'll talk on the Sixers, again, you got a little Ben rant in you, or are you all cleared out?
I mean, I could always go on a rant. You know what I mean?
Floor is yours.
It's not really. I don't really want to go on a rant. I just think that because Furkan and Matisse kind of like closed out the game, that Ben
It overshadowed,
yeah, and even Tobias, I feel like, dude, what he was able to do on it was Sunday, right? My days all mixed up. I don't even know what today is, but on Sunday, dude, he was everywhere. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just been this last week, ever since that one weekend where he kind of put himself back on, like, okay, this is who I'm not this guy that can't play next to Joel Embiid all of a sudden again. I just think he's been awesome, and it didn't really get noticed because those role guys who did step up and were a major, major contributor why we won. But I just thought he deserves the credit. You know what I mean?
Did you guys see Brock's tweet about the Sixers 3-point assist from Ben Simmons?
I saw one about Tobias.
Yeah. So he just makes life easier for everyone else, but that's who I want to talk about for a quick moment. Tobias Harris, guys, we've been pushing on here, and I know Sixers Twitter definitely is for him to make the All-Star game, and he's playing like an All-Star this year. But in the beginning of the season, myself included, hesitant to trust and believe in Tobias Harris. And then he hits the game winner against the Lakers when we folded, and it's like, okay, can he be that guy? I don't know. And then, he plays well against Minnesota, but Joel dropped 37. And then you get a test on the road against a good Eastern Conference opponent in Indiana and no Joel. And, okay, who's going to step up? And all eyes are always on Ben, because when Joel's not on the floor, is okay, can Ben give you people like to hold that 20-point standard? Can Ben give you 20 in this? Well, he did, okay? But Tobias Harris through 21 games, to me, is right up there with the most important aspect on this team with, right next to Joel being an MVP candidate right now at their 15-6 record. Because, dude, in my opinion, now watch, he'll probably go cold for the next 8 games after I say this. But in my opinion, it's no longer a fluke. I'm no longer hesitant over saying it. And it's the Doc Rivers effect. It's whatever you want to call it. But it's no longer just an 8-10 game stretch of Tobias Harris playing at a high level. We are 21 games into the season. And outside of the opener, so 20 games straight, he's averaging over 20 points. He's at 6, 7, 8 rebounds, whatever it is. He's playing at an all-star level. He's officially on another level in my book. And that is freaking huge going forward. It's something we talked about before the season started, earlier in the season, like, okay, Ben and Joel can only take you so far. Can Tobias be that third star? You and I talked about it a ton. And he is right now, dude. And it's getting to the point we talk about, Seth shooting from 3 and Joel's mid-range being, almost automatic. Tobias, when he puts the ball on the floor and gets to his spot in the mid-range, it's becoming almost automatic. And he's doing it late in the game down the stretch. He has been unreal offensively. He's on another level. And defensively, he stepped up big time this season so far. So that's what I'm ending my weekend recap with the 76ers is this team, Gint said they can flip a switch if they want to. That's huge. Doc was the coach of the month. He's been freaking fantastic here, making in-game adjustments. Who the hell would have thought that a Sixers coach could do that after what we've witnessed? But Tobias Harris is officially on that next level for me. And it's no longer just he's just hot right now. It's no longer just a fluke. I truly believe he will sustain this play throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I've alluded to it. I agree. I think, Dives kind of actually just said it. I said to his, the offense is awesome. Don't get me wrong. We talked about how important he would be coming into the season with how many points he could score and such, but him not being a liability on the defensive end in this Eastern Conference where the front court players are from top to bottom and all the good teams are solid is just humongous. So, I think he's an all-star now. Obviously, Sixers Twitter is doing everything they can to make that happen. But regardless of all-star or not, he's been unbelievable so far.
All right, let's move on. George, is any final thoughts before we move on?
No, I was going to throw out how Tobias defensively is even a bigger key than offense, but that's all I was going to talk about.
All right. So moving on to tonight's matchup with the Hornets, the Sixers look to finish out a 3-game road stand in Charlotte tonight before returning home against Portland tomorrow and the Nets on Saturday night, which I cannot wait for. But they take on the Hornets, who they've already beaten twice this season. However, Gordon Hayward's averaging 23 a game. He's looked really well this season. Gint's boy, his vote for Rookie of the Year is now in the starting lineup, I believe. Is Cody Zeller back?
I
believe he is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw the injury report on Twitter.
And Terry Rozier is a game-time decision.
He's not playing, I'm pretty sure.
I saw he's a game-time decision, but
I don't think PJ Washington's playing either.
Yeah, he's not. So they look to beat Charlotte. They took both from Charlotte at home before. Now they look to do it on the road. And this is a weird game for me, dude. Look, normally I wouldn't want to talk about this game that long because Charlotte, is not a very good team. Sixers are the 1 seed in the East. They've already played them and beaten them twice. So it's okay, how much can I dissect it? But the circumstances going into this game, the 3rd straight road game, 2 days off after that humongous win without Embiid over Indiana, and then Portland tomorrow at home and the Nets Saturday this weekend. Does this game have a feel of a trap game to you guys? Because it has it for me. I'm not saying that they're going to lose, but it has a very weird feeling going into tonight. We should just roll. It's Charlotte, blah, blah, blah. Joel's playing.
I think you're saying we're going to lose.
No. I'm not.
You're so pessimistic, dude. No, I get what you're saying. I do. And
tell him, Abe. Abe only tells the truth.
That's true.
I think it's so weird the way that the schedule worked out because, dude, we played Sunday. Now we don't play till Wednesday. I don't get how these games weren't better spaced. Why didn't we play Tuesday? One day off when you play. But I'm not the commissioner of the league or anything. But yeah, I'm with Dives. I don't think so. I really don't. We haven't been beaten at full strength. We're going to be full strength. They're probably not going to have Terry Rozier or PJ Washington. I love LaMelo Ball, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Malik Monk isn't – he just said it too. Malik Monk's not good, and for some reason he's playing well. So, but no, I don't – you could say it's a trap game because maybe we are looking forward to Portland because on paper Portland's a better team.
Even Brooklyn.
I mean, you can't look towards Saturday. It's Wednesday.
It's not that far away.
I understand, but like, you can't just look 3 games ahead.
It's not 3 games ahead.
It is.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
3rd game.
There's no 3 games in between. Continue.
No, I mean, I think it's a different team. I think, like Marquise always says, I think this game's taken it 1 game at a time. 1-0 is the goal only. You know what I mean? So that's my.
I mean,
I could be wrong, and we could lose by 25 points tonight, and Embiid doesn't play the 4th quarter because we're down by so much. But
all right, Dives.
George, thoughts on that?
Trap game, like I guess it has the recipe to be a trap game, but
that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
but we've seen this team at full strength, and they just haven't lost, and they've played a lot better teams than the Charlotte Hornets, especially the Charlotte Hornets that aren't at full strength. Like I don't see any way that the Hornets that we go out to Charlotte and somehow the Hornets just beat us at full strength. Like I think Embiid's going to eat. I think this team is on fire right now. I don't really see the Hornets being the one team that stops us. Like maybe Portland, I could see that, but I don't think the Hornets going to win. And on that note, the Sixers -7 is a lock. Please lock it in.
Oh man!
See, I want to address this because this was getting to my next point. Dibe says the key is simple: keep the game close through 3 quarters and dominate defensively in the 4th. I disagree here with this game. Because what do I always talk about? No. What do I always talk about with bad teams, lesser talented teams? Put them away, not early. They're not going to put them away in the first half, but put them away. Don't let them think that they can win this game in the 4th quarter. And then guys start hitting shots and they get into a rhythm when they normally wouldn't be. I don't want this game, close in the 4th quarter where we got to lock up and then hope that, Gordon Hayward doesn't hit a big 3 or Malik Monk or LaMelo Ball doesn't, hit a big shot or something. I don't want that. I think that's I get what Dodge is saying. It's been the recipe lately, but this is not a very good Charlotte Hornets team. I think they're 10-11, and I think that's I think they're overachieving at the moment. Actually, didn't you who did you put at the 8 seed?
I put Washington, but I changed it.
You can't change it.
I didn't want them. I don't want Washington anymore. I want Charlotte.
No, but anyway, I want this team put away middle end of the 3rd quarter. I don't not put away, but I want like an 8-9 point lead going into the 4th quarter. Because if we're down by a few, or if they're down by a bucket and they went on a run at the end of the 3rd, I don't like that momentum going into a 4th with a lesser talented team having that confidence against the 1 seed. I know it's early in the year, but they're looking to take down the 1 seed. They're a fringe playoff team right now. I want no part of that. So that's what I'm saying. And it has an eerily weird feeling this game. But I guess we'll just get into our players of the game and predictions, because outside of that, I mean, again, is there any like big, matchup like defense? Do you have anything defensively you would do?
I mean, you've beaten them twice. But that like as I said that kind of scared me because it's hard to beat a team 3 times straight in the NBA. But you beat them twice. You have to see how they kind of adjust, and then you make adjustments off their adjustments. That's the name of the NBA at this point. But I don't see any issues across the board. I hate to be so confident.
That's a good thing, though, right? I mean, I don't want to.
Confident was week 1 when I said, "Oh yeah, the Eagles can't lose to the Redskins. There's no possible way. There's no way that can happen."
You have to bring that up. Yeah. Exactly.
Remember how happy we were in the first half?
MVP Wentz in the first half.
Yeah, all right, we're not talking about them.
Our group chat was firing that first half.
They were going crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's nothing. I'm not really looking for. I like LaMelo Ball, so it's gonna be cool to see him play. I hope they don't put Ben Simmons on him because he probably won't ever see the floor again after that. But yeah.
All right. So Joel, the Sixers are fully healthy, as Gint said. Mike Scott's still out, I believe. Terrence Ferguson's not touching the floor.
He may never play a game for the Sixers again.
Yeah, shouldn't. But that's another topic.
We'll see again.
I said he shouldn't.
I
But
said we'll be seeing you, Hive.
oh yeah, later, Hive. Look, I love what he brings as like a that tough guy because the Sixers don't really have one, and he literally almost who did he almost fight when he was on the bench? That bum, Josh Jackson. That bum.
I hate that guy.
But anyway, predictions, George. You're going Sixers giving 7.
Yeah, I'm laying the 7. Are we doing player of the game?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Sixers win handily. I'm gonna go with Big Ben Simmons for player of the game. 20. Oh yeah, took his man.
Getting robbed of picking Ben lately, man.
21, 7, and 6 last game. That was without Joel. I think defensively he's gonna lock down whoever he goes up against. Hopefully it's LaMelo. That'd be very funny. Sorry, Kent.
It's gonna be Hayward.
Yeah, I know. I assume it's Hayward too. That'd be funny if it was LaMelo. Sorry, to your boy. But I'm gonna go with Ben tonight. I think he drops another 20 piece too.
All right. I know I just said this has the feel of a trap game, but I'm laying the 7 too. Because I think it's like the Sixers handled it. Like I think the Sixers win, and the Sixers win. I need them to do what I said about putting them away. Yeah. And think about it. If you're up 4 towards the end of the game, they start fouling. I think laying 7 is possible against the Charlotte team, or maybe they run them out of the gym because they can flip that switch as you talked about. And so again, I'm not going to pick against them until proven wrong. Definitely not against the Charlotte Hornets. So, and they've had 2 days of rest. So hopefully that back's okay for JoJo. I'm going Sixers win, laying the 7. And my player of the game, Ben's off the board. Joel's not available for this pick.
Don't take my pick yet.
I'm not. I'm going with I'm going Seth Curry.
No, that was my pick, dude. Dude, you're a clown.
How was I supposed to know Seth Curry was your pick?
You're a clown.
I left Tobias out for you. I left Shake out for you.
I'm never picking Shake again. Every time I pick him, he has 7 points.
Every time you pick Claude Drew to score a goal, he almost does or does. But I'm going with Seth. He hasn't shot well from beyond the arc or period since he's come back from having COVID. A few extra days off, conditioning up. I think this is the perfect get right game for Seth to get acclimated back in the offense and start knocking down shots, especially with I know. Who said it earlier? Was it Abe? Yeah, that Portland's missing a lot of guys, but you start to play Dame tomorrow. He said it's gonna be Dame, Mo, Larry, and Curly out there for Portland tomorrow. That's a great comment. But I just think this is a great get right game for Seth. I think he knocks down 5 threes tonight.
Dude, I literally was gonna say that. I swear, 5 3. that was like really weird. That was like
look at that. That's that daily dose connection.
It has to be something.
5 threes with like 18 to 20 points total tonight from Seth Curry, and the Sixers win, laying 7. Gint, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay 7 too. I'm gonna say the Sixers win by more than 7. Another reason why I was gonna take Seth is because even the Hornets coach has alluded to it that I don't know what their matchups are going to be, but LaMelo Ball, Devontae Graham, they're not the most defensive beast.
Strap on, guys.
Yeah, they don't give much effort on the defensive end, I guess is the word I'm looking for here. But because those guys are gone, I'm going to take Tobias. I think that's kind of the easy answer. We've just alluded to him for about 6.5 minutes about how good he's been.
Yeah.
I expect that to more than continue tonight. I don't know. I don't even know what their starting 5 is going to look like without PJ Washington in terms of their front court, but I'll take Tobias.
Honest Abe says Danny and Seth combined 8 threes tonight. That would be unbelievable. Dibe says if Korkmaz scores 20 plus, Dylan has to add Furkan's photo to the one behind him. All right, yeah, deal. Okay, I'll print out a picture of his mug and put it right in the corner of this. I like
this farther so you can see Turkey.
Yeah, and Marquise with the optimism. I love it. And I need to make one thing clear. When I call out Philly fans and this fan base for being so negative, Marquise is definitely not one of those people.
Marquise is on our side of the fence.
Embiid 39, Toby 26, Ben 22, Seth 23, Shake 19, and then Danny 11, Korkmaz 10. My God, he's got 4 dudes over
200 points.
Yeah. I love the optimism though. So I'm guessing he's going with the Sixers W tonight.
I sure hope so.
And I also think that this is, a matchup where Joel Embiid can continue his MVP case. I guess Cody Zeller is going to be his assignment tonight.
That's not even an assignment.
Yeah, I know.
Remember in school when you would hand in like a 5-point assignment, you should kind of write your name on it. Nah, that's Cody Zeller to Joel Embiid at this point.
All right. So that is the Sixers. We will be breaking down tonight's matchup against the Hornets on tomorrow's show and previewing tomorrow night's game against the Trailblazers in a back-to-back. But, George, let's talk some puck.
Yeah, you guys talk puck. I'm going to go to practice.
Later, again.
Cool. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. I'll let you know tomorrow. Jesus Christ. It's game day. We have a game tomorrow. I got to see. Time to
right. Later.
What did Gint tell you in private?
That the Flyers are not a good hockey team.
I kind of think he's right. I do. They're 7-2-1. That is amazing. Like, there's not much room to complain, but
there's a weird feel.
They don't look great.
This literally was my first question for you. They're 7-2-1. They were, after that OT win against the Islanders, they had 15 points, tied for the most in the NHL. But there's this weird feeling of they're getting outworked, they're getting outshot every night by a large margin. We know they can score, but their defense, again, this is Gustafson's back in over Haig tonight. So that's another shuffling of the pairings for the D line. Yeah. They turn the puck over in their zone in front of their net with these defensive men so bad. Gustafson does it a ton. He's great inside. He's great inside the other blue line. He's awful in his zone. Love Ghost. He turns the puck over in his own zone a ton. Myers, and if I see Sanheim or Myers, and I love the two young kids, I do. But if I see one of them, hold in our own zone and no one near him, George, and then try to fire an outlet pass after 5 seconds and it go down the ice for icing, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. They do it 5 times a night. Just make the simple pass.
It's so weird. Like, how this team is 7-2-1, baffles me. I don't understand.
There's just a weird feeling, man. Had they been outshot every game, and I'm not kidding, in 10 games,
in 10 games, we got outshot at least 8 games. I know that. It's a really weird feel this year because we're not playing good. We've played 30 periods of hockey. We've probably played good in 6 of them. It's so frustrating to watch.
So let me ask you this. Is that a good thing in your opinion, or is it a bad trend? So what I mean by that, is it a bad trend and you think this is going to continue and our luck's going to change, or is it a good thing where they haven't played well at all through 10 games and they're tied for best in the league and you think they'll start playing really good hockey and be a dominant team this season?
I think it's awesome that our record is a lot better than we are. We're tied for second place in the NHL right now, which is incredible. But if we don't flip a switch, this team's fucked. If we don't flip a switch, this team is going to go downhill fast. The defense is so scary. This whole defensive corps situation is just a very tough situation. It's very scary. And the way that they're shuffling lines every single night, TK already got benched to send a message to the team. You got to play better, even though we're sitting at the top of the league. Everything is, it's weird this year. It's very weird because
the defense is so mind-boggling to me, though.
We came in the year expecting cup appearance or bust. That's what we expected, right? We were we get another year of the young guys. We were bringing back the same.
At least Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, our depth is amazing. We look incredible last year, but damn, we do not look good. And we even talked about Martinez. He was saying, we all agreed. We're I don't think defense is as big as a concern as people are making it. Well, the people were right. It is a concern. It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. And hopefully they can fix that. I trust AV to do so. Do you play hockey? No.
Street hockey or lake pond hockey.
Is this one of those comments they're gonna play hockey? You can't talk about hockey. You don't know hockey. I don't know, but they haven't. I'm of the mindset of I think it's a great thing because I think they do flip a switch. And I think one thing that you're seeing early to take away some positives from a great start. So weird that we're being, that pessimistic, those pessimistic people that I was talking about earlier, like they're tied for, they have 15 points in 10 games and we're sitting here being negative. But, JVR has been off to an absolutely unbelievable start.
Top 5 in points in the league.
Brian Elliott has been fantastic backing up Carter Hart in nights off. So that's great. And they're scoring. The team can put the puck in the back of the net. Mm-hmm. They're getting outshot in the majority of their games, and they're winning those games. They're very efficient. But the last thing is, how do I say this? What impressed me about the Islanders games, even though they got outplayed, George, in most of the periods, they blew 2-goal leads in both games, I believe. And they found a way to, win in overtime, to overcome that collapse. Like we talk a lot about the Sixers collapse at the end against the Lakers, and they found a way to hit one more shot and win the game. They collapsed in back-to-back games against the Islanders, a team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, a very good and fast Islanders team, and they found a way to overcome it in overtime with Scott Law and Kevin Hayes.
Yeah, shout out Farabee for Hattie. Good for him.
Yeah, that kid, he's been unbelievable. So
love him.
It is very weird, man. I don't know what to think, and we're gonna watch, that Flyers and Sixers and the Flyers Bruins matchup tonight. And it's this is a huge test because, they had 3 total losses. Obviously, one came in overtime, or a shootout, I should say, to Boston. But you lost in a shootout to Boston in a game in which you had a lead in the third period. And then you got routed by them the next game with, Carter Hart ended up wrecking his stick on the crossbar after the game. But the Flyers, by Jordan Hall on Twitter, since their back-to-back losses in Boston, they're 4-0 with 3.75 goals per game, 2.25 goals allowed. Their power play percentage is 25%. Their penalty kill percentage is 93.3. They welcome back the Boston Bruins tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. It's a very... What do you think of this matchup, George?
I'll say...
Is it good timing? Like, so shortly after getting your asses kicked and you see that video of Carter Hart, like, is it good that it's fresh still and they, you get another chance with them? Or would you have liked to see it later down the season?
I'll say I think it's awesome that we're home tonight because AV as the head coach of the Flyers when we're home, 37-4. That's incredible. 3.54 goals per game, only 2.1 goals allowed per game, and goal differential plus 59. Like that's incredible. But damn, can I be honest with you? I think we're gonna get rolled tonight. I really do. Wow. Both the games against the Bruins, the first game was great. I think we're up 2-0 going into the third, and then Boston just absolutely jumps on us in the third period. 2 goals fast. That was so tough to watch. And then the second game was not pretty at all. Boston is on a roll. They had a great comeback win against the Caps. The Caps are up 3-1 with 10 minutes left. Boston wins 5-3, like out of nowhere. Had Caps my parlay, by the way. That was terrible. But I'm scared. I mean, we haven't been playing well, and Boston has been playing very well. Still sitting up top of the East somehow, but man, I'm not confident in this game at all. I'm confident that we're home because we're a great home team. I think the Bruins match up pretty well against us. It would be amazing if we can come out there and win, just because then if we come out there and we win tonight,
they're also going for 5 straight.
Yeah, I know. But if the Flyers come out and win tonight, make it 5 in a row, that'll get it going. If we beat the Bruins, that's better than what we've done before. We won 4 in a row, and we probably should not have won 4 in a row.
Yeah, I also think a regulation win would be nice to see tonight as well. Yeah. Isaac says Pasternak is back for the Bruins. I did not know that.
Great. I did not know that either.
Should we get to our predictions for tonight?
Do you think what?
So you said you think we're going to get rolled.
Rolled, I think we lose 3-1, honestly. I'm a guy, you know me, I bet on the Flyers a lot, when I'm confident in them, and I'm not even touching this game.
I'm not touching it either.
Yeah.
However, you alluded to, 37-4 home record under Elaine Vigneault.
Yep.
And it's so weird because there are no fans in the building. And there aren't for the Sixers. But these two teams at the Wells Fargo Center
love win at the barn.
Play and feel so entirely different than they do when they're on the road. And it goes the orange and black also debuting their new unis tonight.
Yep.
I know there's no fans in the building, but they're a different team there. If we lose, I don't see us getting rolled. I see like a 3-2 game, something along the lines of that. No, man, I'm gonna say that the Flyers get their 5th straight tonight. Okay, I don't know if that's a joke or
I think it's a troll.
Yeah, going off of what I said earlier. But anyway, I'm gonna go Flyers win, and I think Carter Hart responds in a huge way. I mean, I still think Boston gets 2 by them, but I'm gonna go Flyers win 4-2 tonight.
I hope you're right. We'll be watching it together. So
yes, sir.
I think Bruins win 4-2 tonight, and I usually very optimistic about guessing who's going to win, and I'm always on the Philly side. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence right now, but hopefully tonight they change my mind.
That is what's so weird. They're 7-2-1.
7-2-1.
And it's like we're lacking confidence.
It's incredible. We're very lucky to come out on this fast start because if we don't get it together soon, at least we have time to make it up instead of these teams that are starting off terrible.
What I will say is we haven't played our best hockey.
We can clip.
That's not a
we're a good roster. We got depth.
That's not a hot take right there.
Cooch is not in the lineup. That's huge.
But what I will say is in a 56 game season, every 10 games is important. You're literally almost you're a fifth of the way done the season almost. 7-2-1 through 10.
Pretty damn good. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
4 wins in a row, it doesn't feel like it at all, does it?
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, man, you just have to hope that the veterans continue to step up. Giroux, although he's not shattering, the scoreboard and the points board, he looks a lot quicker. He's playing very good hockey right now, in my opinion. Like I said, JBR has been on an absolute tear. Farabee has stepped up. I'm going to say that Jake gets one tonight.
Okay.
I think
you want to player of the game for the Flyers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jake Voracek.
Awesome.
Who are you going?
I'm going to go Kevin Hayes tonight.
Kevin
Hayes, baby. He looked good last game, and I think he comes out. Hopefully, puts one on the back of the net. Flyers going to shut George. I hope you're right, Abe. I hope you're right. Look at this. Where is it? Come on.
Flyers going to shut George out tonight. He's not hating. I'm not. I know George isn't hating, but yeah, man. So Kevin Hayes, Jake Voracek starts the game. I got Flyers winning 4-2. George has them losing 4-2 against Boston tonight. I believe it's the Wednesday night rivalry game on NBCSN as well. So that'll be a good time. And the Sixers start at 7 against Charlotte on NBC Sports Philly. I think we're getting a 2 TV setup going tonight.
No doubt.
Down here. Because I don't know how I can flip back with those two unless the Sixers are rolling the Charlotte Hornets or whatever. But with that being said, you follow me on Twitter at DylanJD98. You follow George on Twitter at _George Ryder. Follow Ginn on Twitter as well. As always, the Daily Dose is brought to you by the Painted Lines Network. So if you're new to the channel, wherever you're watching, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like this video, please. Turn on notifications. You can follow the Painted Lines on Twitter at the Painted Lines. Honest Abe, thank you so much for your donation, man. Too kind. Thank you, everyone, for watching and commenting along with us. Makes the show a lot more fun. Tomorrow, I will be back 4:30 start time. And I may be by myself tomorrow. So if
Ginn doesn't show up, I got it.
All right, George will be in. If something comes up and I am by myself, folks, please continue to comment as much as you do now. It'll make my life a lot more easier. It will be my first ever live show alone. So the nerves will definitely be kicked in, and we'll just look to have a good time. So go Flyers, go Sixers, and let's hope somehow that the 2 Philly teams can go 2-0 for a second straight time since Sunday night. Have a nice night.
Parlay 'em.
No.